It's 98.9 Northwest FM. This is CarTorque with Matty J. Another Tuesday night, and another new topic on CarTorque. I'm joined in the studio with the father-son dynamic duo Harley and Rob. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, how's it going? Good, thanks. Good.
And also joined in the studio with James from MS Movies, who's always here.
How you going?
All good, man. All good. Look, we got a fair few topics to get on tonight. We're going to talk about the Merc has finally arrived and finally on the road. But we're going to talk about Mustangs as well, because you guys have got your Mustang.
We did finally get it, yes.
And we're going to get to that. We're going to go to a quick song though in the meantime. But how are you guys finding your Merc? Sorry, your Mustang.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And the Merc.
And the Merc. That's good. Look, we're going to get to a quick song. We're going to go to a song. What are we going to go to? We're going to go to Luke Million with Transylvania Disco. So this is Luke Million with Transylvania Disco. 98.9 Northwest FM. This is CarTorque with Matty J. Mustangs. Now, last time we had you guys in the studio, the Mustangs were on their way. Mustang, I should say, was on its way, and yeah, now you've got two.
Somehow we ended up with two. It's just because it was so frustrating because they couldn't give us a date on the original delivery of the one that we actually ordered.
Yeah.
They initially said October, November, then January, then Feb. And then they finally said, "Oh, it could be around maybe April now." You know, so I said maybe April. So back in Feb, Harley spotted another car on car sales, and he goes, "It's ready to go now, and it's cheaper than the one we bought."
Well, they same colour and
no, one's a grabber blue,
okay, yeah.
And the other one, and the one that we ordered was a white one. So somehow I ended up with a blue one that was shipped down from Western Australia, actually, cheaper than the one I bought locally.
That's it.
Yeah, it's $1,000 cheaper.
Was that because it didn't have the fabled black roof, or the?
Yeah, that, and they had someone who cancelled on an order, so it was ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's actually newer, and it was delivered earlier.
No
so
way.
It was made later after mine, and I got it a couple of months earlier. How's that?
Ford, man, that's
that's Ford. Anyway, so we've been enjoying the car. We had a bit of summer to enjoy it with, and now it's autumn, and here we got the white one. Picked it up on yesterday.
Yesterday.
I only picked it up yesterday.
There you go. Yeah. So
so drove it in for the first time today.
So I noticed the outside. I didn't get a quick look because I was running late tonight. But from the picture you sent me, it looks good.
Yeah, so Harley can tell you a bit more about it, actually, because he drove it for the first time all day. Actually, I drove it home, but he drove it to work today and drove it around a little bit.
That's tough. All right, tell us, Harley, what's it like?
It's pretty good. It's like the blue one to drive.
Yeah.
Except that the white one's got a bit of a rattle in the glove box. Yeah, I think we pinpointed a rattle. It's actually a little inner glove box that holds the manuals.
Yeah.
And there's a little latch there that's just loose and it keeps on rattling along the latch.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, it's not a good start, but it's a start.
Yeah, so it's got a bit of a rattle, but I think we've pinpointed it, so hopefully we can fix it up.
Yeah. Either that or just get some double-sided tape.
I'll put a bit of sponge on it to stop it from rattling.
Just stop the vibration.
Yeah. That's an extra that we had to wait for.
It's part of the extra time. It's part of the extra weight.
Exactly.
Comes with a few rattles.
Look, the heated and cooled seats are fantastic, and it drives well. The suspension's a bit firm. It gets up and goes. It actually, with the traction control on and everything, it tends to want to step out a little bit if you give it to getting onto the freeway.
So it's got a little bit of a play.
Oh, it's got a bit of go. Yeah. So it goes good. Yeah. So for around town, you don't need much more power.
No,
really you don't.
They got 306 kilowatts. That's right. Yeah, but they're still like over 500 newton meters. Is that?
Yeah.
Torque, and they're a fairly light car. They're not an overly heavy car.
What do they weigh? Like
1690.
Wow, that's it. Yeah, there you go. It's lighter than a Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot firmer than a Falcon. But it does hold the road pretty well.
Yep.
But the Falcon's a bit more compliant, I think.
Yeah.
For like if you compare it to an XR6. Yeah.
It takes the bumps a bit on, but then again, that's made for Aussie roads as well.
That's true too. Yeah. So it's got a nice sound to it, but it'd be better once we put the X-Force exhaust system on it and do a bit more work to it, get it lowered.
Make it sound like a muscle car should.
Exactly, exactly. Maybe with a supercharger one day.
To see old mate Rob at Mustang Motorsport.
Oh, yeah, maybe not there. I can't afford Mustang Motorsport.
Well, you got two, so you can, mod one and then leave the other one.
Yeah.
Well, the blue one come with the original pre-delivery wrapping. So
Oh,
we
right,
actually
okay.
got it dropped to our doorstep with all the paperwork still on the window and
No
all the
way.
markings, everything still wrapped up as it came from the factory back at Flat Rock in America.
That's it. So you can order it like that?
No, well, we got it like that. How's that?
Okay,
So I've got all the paperwork and all the original stuff that came with it. And I've still even got the stickers on the door jams and
That's mad.
the label on the seat and all that, for how to treat the leather seats.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
no, it's pretty good.
So, all right, that's going to make me ask the question: how did that happen? How did you manage to get it delivered to your doorstep? And how did you get it? Like, did you have
Because
to
it was in WA, and I said, "Well, all right, what are you going to do for me? If you're going to sell me a car?" He goes, "Yeah, we'll get it delivered to your doorstep. We'll get it transported, and we'll get the tray truck to drop it off at your door."
That's it.
Yeah, and they're fantastic. It's one of the best Ford dealers I've ever worked with
Well,
or dealt with, and they're called McInerney Ford in WA.
There you go. It was a WA Ford dealership.
They were great. It was the most painless Ford dealer I've ever walked into. They were fantastic. They were real good. Yeah.
Couldn't help you enough.
Couldn't help us enough. And when they said something was going to happen, it happened, and there it was on my doorstep.
Take long to come, or
5 or 6 days, maybe 7 days.
I think it was about 9 working days.
okay,
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah.
So it was including the weekend.
Weekend,
yeah,
yes,
9 days all up. Yeah,
And to your doorstep.
yeah, to the doorstep. So
Right,
it was
yeah.
pretty good.
So
Yeah.
then you had to get it. Well, you don't have to get it right away. It's a brand new car, but
Yeah.
you had to. How did that go with because usually dealers do all that sort of stuff.
It's so easy. All you have to do is just make a booking, and that was the hardest part. And I wanted to get it on the road sooner. And if you had to book it anywhere in Broadmeadows
Oh, forget about it.
or Sunshine, you would have had to wait a couple of weeks. And I got a booking in Ballarat. So my wife, Deb and Harley went for a drive up to Ballarat, and they got it all done. So you tried it out for the first time with no plates on it, and didn't even get pulled over, did you?
I'm drove it.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a permit, or you just drove it?
No
up?
permit. You don't need a permit. That's another thing I found out. If you've got a booking to take your car to get inspected,
Yeah.
you don't need to get a permit. But
Really?
you're not covered under TAC. But you're allowed to drive it if you can prove that you've got a booking.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go.
I've never heard of that before. Because every time I've had to, for example, yesterday when I got the Merc done, but I didn't have a booking, so because I just could
So,
walk in.
yeah.
I had to put a trade plate on it. And,
Yeah. Oh, well, you're lucky. You can,
Yeah.
you get to do that. But you have to get a permit normally.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, we've driven a little bit. We've been enjoying it. Like I said, the heated cool seats are fantastic. It feels nice to drive, nice and firm, and it feels sporty.
Yep.
But it is a brand new car, so it's not like an old muscle car
Yeah.
to drive, and it hasn't got all that sort of rattle and creak and stiffness, except for that rattle in the glove box. It's trying to emulate the old 60s.
It's trying to emulate your other Mustang.
That's right, the old 65. Yeah.
So, all right. I know the engines are probably still getting running and stuff,
Yeah.
but have you noticed any difference between both cars, or like they pretty much on par?
They're pretty tight. Noticed when they put the cars together, they just go pretty liberal with underbody black paint. They just spray anywhere underneath.
Wow.
So all the exhaust pipes are all painted black, and they spray over parts of the suspension, the lower control links, and other parts they miss.
That's just about how
it's
you're going.
just how you're going. Yeah, just spray it everywhere. So it's a bit slip, slop, slap.
Okay.
With the way they do it, it looks shonky.
Yeah.
It looks shonky.
It looks pretty bodge.
$65,000 car, and you've got painted mufflers.
Yeah, no.
Not good. And so that's all burning off and still smells and stuff like that. Other than that, the actual fitments on these both cars have been pretty good. The panels, yeah. So all of the fit and finish is not too bad. There's a couple
Interior's pretty good?
interiors all nice and straight and looks sewn well.
Yep.
We found a couple of dimples here and there on the paintwork on the blue one, but pretty much that was it. So all in all, it's what you would expect or should expect out of a car. You wouldn't be disappointed, with the car. And you really had to search for the little dimples and paint imperfections.
You have to have a go. Have a good look at it.
You have to have a good look. Yeah,
I mean, they'll probably come out with a good paint correction or something as well. So,
Yeah, you would think that they'll get better as the production line goes on and whatnot. Yeah. So since then we put some LED running lights and LED. So we've got that done to the blue one.
Yep.
Put a boot spoiler on it and bonnet struts and stuff like that. So at least you can open the bonnet without having to put a little cheap
Really, they still come
rod.
with the
They
stick?
still come with the stick. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. For a $65,000 car, Ford.
What?
Yeah, they don't come with hydraulic struts. Apparently, it's got something to do with pedestrian safety and stuff like that. And but then again, the 2 stars.
So it doesn't really matter anyway.
And that's another thing, actually. Harley mentioned because Harley's got the brand new C-Class Mercedes, and I prefer the Mercedes is just
it's a different car. Yeah.
totally different car. It's a better quality car and everything else. But all the safety features. Like when you hop in a Mercedes, you don't have to worry about you've got blind spot monitors and it beeps when there's a car next to you. If you put your indicator on, it's got auto braking. If if you're a bit lazy and you don't look and a car stops in front of you, Mustang's got none of that.
Yeah.
And it's the same price.
That's the other issue
Same
there.
price.
So
the ride and even the handling, the Mercedes is a lot more compliant, but still holds the road brilliantly. You know what it's like even with your old E-Class.
you know what? It actually surprised me.
It holds the road well, doesn't it?
Impressively good.
I've had a lot of Mercs over the years, and they're soft when you need it, but when you want to push it, they actually then firm up.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
When you put it on the
load.
They come up real nice, yeah.
They hold the road well, but you'll be surprised how good they are.
It's my car really shocked me. Like I've only had it on the road, properly driving it for like 2 days now, and it's you know what? It isn't bad at all. It's 1989. It really just it rides beautifully.
My saying always was I'd rather drive a 10-year-old Merc than a brand new Ford or a Holden because that's the difference about 10 years in the models,
tech and
in tech and the way they handle and drive and everything else.
But as we're talking on the last time you guys were on, that when the Mustang in the States has got pretty much a lot of those features as well. Like it's got it doesn't have the auto braking, but it's got the blind spot monitoring and just the little stuff.
It does actually have adaptive cruise control.
Okay.
In the States, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So none of that's here yet.
That's to be honest, that is just really unacceptable in a 65,000 in a car that's the same in the States.
When they already make it,
it's kind of BS, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but,
it is. So it's quite antiquated, really. It's very it's almost agricultural.
Yeah, it's old school.
Old school.
Yeah, well, considering like you can walk into like a Holden dealer and get like for example a VF Calais, and it's got pretty much this similar tech,
pretty much.
And it's cheaper, and you can get it with a V8 still, and it really just kind of annoys me that Ford cheapened on that route, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they try to build them to a price and make a good profit. Yeah, well, that's what I think.
The one thing I can't get around is no digital speedo.
Yeah.
So
you've only got the one analog gauge, and you've got to really keep an eye on the analog, and you get up to speed pretty quickly.
Doing those, yeah.
Yeah, so. With his Mercedes again, there's something like 4 different places you can see the speed. It's got heads up. It's got the LED or analog readout, as well as the GPS system also tells you your speed as you're going along. So you've got 4 different features. I'm not sure if the Mustang has it got speed limiting or anything like that. It's just got cruise control. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Well, apparently on the updated 2018 model, they're coming up with they're bringing all the tech in it,
full digital display.
All that stuff, which will be a welcome addition. But is it a little bit too little, too late? Would you say?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, especially even the General Motors for their Camaro have brought out the 2017 Camaro with all the tech.
Yeah.
So. 2016, 2017 Camaro.
Back in 2015,
it was actually already released in 2015. But hey, so Ford, I think they always be behind a year or two with General Motors. I don't know.
But they're the same gearbox as General Motors in the new Mustang.
In the 10-speed.
The 10-speed, the same. They developed with General Motors.
So that'll be an interesting transmission because there's big talk about that transmission. Everyone reckons like this is like the bee's knees. But
as long as it's not a flop like the Ford Focus gearbox, eh?
The power shift.
The power shift.
And because they're in big trouble with that transmission. They're in big trouble.
Yeah, so my daughter's boyfriend's actually getting his replaced at the moment. Actually,
they went to do like an ECU upgrade, and I said, "Nah, this is stuff. We're doing all the clutches. We're going to rebuild the whole gearbox."
Under warranty?
Yeah,
under warranty.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It was second hand, but he bought extended warranty with it when he bought it second hand. So
Yeah,
The cooling system went on everything. Yeah, it was
Really?
leaking cooling everywhere.
Far out.
He had so many problems with it.
Well,
so 1.6, isn't it?
Yeah, 1.6 just
well,
stock.
the lady at work bought a 2-litre one Trend, and like with the power shift. And she doesn't know much about cars. And she's like to me, my car went in for a clutch replacement. I'm like, hang on a minute, your car's on order. She's like, oh, it's that power shift. I'm like, oh, it's one of those ones. And she's like, yeah, they drove it and like, your clutches are gone, and it's done like 20,000 Ks.
Wow.
And she's like, she's like, I just drive it to church and to bloody work. That's all I take it to. So, you know, like she's a little old lady. And she's like, I don't know what, you know, I've never, she had a laser, like Black Mile, not an SR2. She bought that brand new. She had that for what, coming up to 15 years. And she's like, she never had an issue with it. And she traded it in on the Focus, and the Focus has been, you know, just been rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
it's disappointing, isn't it?
It is.
But yeah, I think they're finally trying to do something about it. They've had enough flack over it. So
well, yeah, that was the thing. And like I was speaking to a good friend of mine, and the show, Adam Grasso, and he's like, when Ford updated the Focus, they put the big catch line for it was conventional automatic, because like the power shifts were just like the same DSG issues, you know, VW had early on. And he's like, they finally came to their senses and said, just put a standard transmission in it. Don't muck around with it.
it works.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If it's not broken again, why fix it?
Exactly.
Is it like Shapes where there's like the new flavour and the original flavour?
That's exactly
Something like that, yeah. You can't beat the original, can you?
Yeah.
that's exactly right. You know, I did try all those new shapes.
They're terrible.
They're not great at all.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I think just so people go back to the originals
shapes.
afterwards.
You really appreciate the original, don't you?
Yeah, maybe it's the same with the gearbox. This gearbox feels really nice after using the other.
Yeah.
This actually works. But yeah. You know what's weird though? Like Shapes, who makes Shapes? Arnott's. Arnott's they're still selling the old one and the new one like side by side now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just they're never going to sell the new one because it's
It's not good.
it's not good. No one bought it. Anyway, what can you do? That's marketing for you, and that's
Ford is the shapes of cars.
it's
Sad to say.
it's disappointing. Like, you know, it's just that is very disappointing. Like, and considering like, you know, something about like a digital speedo. I mean, come on, like your XR6 Turbo has that. You know, you have driven, and
Exactly.
that's right. And that's a way generation older car. You know.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Speechless.
Yeah. That's
On a radio station, I'm speechless.
talking crap on a Tuesday night. You're speechless. Well, anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. You've got your one of your other cars you're working on, which is I'm a big fan of these trucks.
Yeah, it's an old it's a 76 F100. Put in the IRS front end in it, and that's all been basically grafted into the front end now. So it's rolling. It's going to have rack and pinion steering with coilovers at the front. So it's automatically about 2 to 3 inches lower straight away, and you can get it even lower than that. So I really need to notch the back rails to get it right down.
Yep.
So nice and low, but it's getting there, which is great. It's actually rolling. We bought the chassis on Gumtree for about $400, the whole body, the whole car.
Yeah, that's right.
But it didn't have a back diff, so we put an AU disc brake ute back diff and bolted straight into the back end. That was one of the easiest bolt-ins I've ever done. Yeah, it's fantastic. So it's got a disc brake back end, disc brake front.
You're gonna do power brakes, like
the whole lot. Yeah, so I'm grafting all the bits and pieces from the Fairlane that we used as a donor car. So the V8's going into that. We used the front end off the Falcon for that.
Yep.
So we'll pinch as many pieces as we can out of the Falcon to get it up and running.
Has it got leather? The old
the Falcon, the Fairlane, yeah. So
it's
it's an LTD, V8.
LTD,
so we're going to put the LTD interior buckets in it, electric seats.
So basically, you wrecked a perfectly good LTD.
But it's $700, you know. So by the time you buy bits and pieces and stuff like that for $700, what can you buy?
You won't be able to buy it. You won't be able to buy like the engine for that. So
no. And I bought a whole running car for $700 with a V8 in it.
Is the transmission still good?
Transmission's good. I drove it. I drove it home when I bought it.
You drove it home, parked it, and then ripped it apart.
Yeah, so the engine, everything, EFI engine's going in it, the whole lot. Yeah, so...
Was it a high miler, or was it...
it was fairly...
260,000
K's on it.
Something for one of those old Windsors.
Yeah, it shouldn't be bad. And, like, if we have to rebuild the motor, we'll rebuild the motor somewhere down the track, yeah.
And like those old 5 liters, you can get parts anywhere. You can in America the Windsor V8.
Oh,
still,
you can buy everything for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can put superchargers on it and all sorts of things.
or you can take one out of the
Mustang. Coyote.
Coyote.
Way to go.
I was going to say, if you're going to stick with the old Windsor, try and find a wrecked TE or CS50 with the 5.6 stroker, and that'd be good. That'd be good, yeah.
Look, for an everyday driver with the rack and pinion and suspension, it'd be fantastic. Automatic. My son, my wife can hop in it. My daughter can hop in it and drive it. You know,
it'll ride nicer than the Mustang.
Maybe, probably with less rattles too.
No, that's good. Have you thought of a colour you're going to paint it yet?
Yeah, white.
What? Okay, you're going to
black roof. No, I'm not going to get black roof. 3-month wait after for a black roof. Never again.
It might take
Don't order a black roof.
It might take you an extra 3 months just to paint it. You know, the roof.
I think I could have painted my whole and restored my whole car quicker than they can paint a black roof. But hey, if I had 3 months off work, it'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end, doesn't it? Fitting it in on the weekends and that. So
yeah, exactly. But so we're getting there with the little project car, and so yeah, just enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you've still got your other F100, right?
Yeah, the other 76, the black one. Yeah, that's just. I'm not going to touch it. It's a bit of a rat rod.
That's
old,
about it.
Yeah, clunky manual gearbox again, a bit like the Shapes.
Yeah.
It crunches between gears, and third and fourth synchros. You sort of miss the gears all the time.
Every how you going?
Yeah, pretty much. And no power steering. So if you stopped it, you can't turn. You're going to be moving to turn. But it's one of those cars I enjoy driving probably more than all the other cars I've got.
That's probably the car that's got the most character too, I reckon.
It has. And that was another cheapie too. We picked up on Gumtree for about $2,300, driving.
Yeah.
So and we drove that back from Hayfield back Gippsland Way, yeah.
And it drove fine the whole way home?
Oh, we had a few problems. Where the cooling system was all rusted out, so the actual thermostat housing broke. So we bought one and took it up there, replaced that. We had to replace all the radiator hoses where we could.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got it on the road. We spent about half a day trying to get it all going.
Yeah.
Bought it off a mechanic, by the way, too.
Mechanic's car, see?
It was a mechanic's car, yeah. It was pretty run down. And the goal was, it was about 300 kilometres from home, 360 kilometres from home. It used to get 100 k's out of town. So if it broke down, we got RACV to tow it home for free.
Yeah, that was the goal. Fingers crossed.
Gunbuyer Park to Taylor's Lakes is exactly 100 k's.
Oh, really?
If you ever want to know that. So believe it or not, it broke down just outside Gunbuyer Park. So it actually, the water just blew out of the radiator and the hose burst. So I tried to cut the hose, and I had water with me, so I put it back on. It was still leaking water. Got to the service station and put some of that bars stop leak in it.
Any good?
Stopped the leak from the radiator, and I was driving it for 3 months after.
You're kidding.
Until I got my new radiator put in, and new hoses, and new thermostat. Drove it for 3 months with the bar stop leak.
So bars as your plug?
Yeah, bars, yeah. Good stuff. It's been around forever. So, but you wouldn't want to do that. It wrecks everything, I think. But at the same time, it did what it had to do.
Home?
Yeah, it got me home. And once I actually changed the radiator out, put new coolant in it, and got it all up and running, new thermostat, flushed it right out, blew a Welsh plug out of the side of the block.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a pain because it was right behind the engine mount, so I had to actually jack it up. And I finally got it out and put a new Welsh plug in there. So I haven't replaced the other half a dozen, whatever. So just waiting for them to go. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Well, look, we're going to go to another break. We're going to go to a song by Gorillaz called Dare. It's a classic track. James is a big fan of Gorillaz. I've always loved this song.
I think I played it a couple of weeks ago.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
No, okay, I must
they got a new album coming out, so...
Big ups to Gorillaz.
Yeah, listen out for that on my show and probably your show
too. I'll
be
definitely playing that on my show. We'll continue this. We'll get to the wonderful world of my 260E Mercedes on the other side of this.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. It's 98.9 Northwest FM. It's 20 to 8 on a Tuesday night. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Not really. There's probably like one listener at home. But my my 260E, she's on the road, people. She's on the road. I had to get a few things for the roadworthy. I had to get a new windshield because I had a crack in it.
Okay.
I had to get a passenger side door door mirror because I had like a slight crack. So I'm like, I went to other people. I'm not going to give them a plug, but I went to like a specific German Mercedes wrecker. And I had to get a few things there. The cluster stopped ticking over, so I had to get a new cluster.
Common fault with a lot of those German cars, actually. Even the BMWs have that.
Yeah, I've heard that. Everyone says those things. And apparently what kills them is when you're driving, you reset it.
Reset it, that's right. While you're driving, you chew up the gears. You can actually buy a gear set from J-Car.
Oh, really?
And you can just re-drill it and redo the gears yourself, actually. So I've rebuilt a couple of dashes myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
I should have asked you. I would have saved me $150.
And it's only about $2 for a gear.
Yeah, no, well, I've still got the original one in the boot.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. If the new one ever breaks, I'm not going to spend $150 on the bloody cluster again. But yeah, that was pretty much all I needed to pass. And I got the roadworthy on Saturday morning, and then took it to the club yesterday. Took it to where you guys go, the Phoenix Custom
Club.
Custom and Rods car club. And the guy there, Ray's a nice bloke. Didn't take him on. They checked the numbers, checked the roadie, made me watch a video about the club and about using
the club permit scheme. Yep.
And that was it. I shook hands and I was at the door and on my way to Vic Roads and went into Vic Roads and spoke to the bloke there. He comes out with the biggest smirk on his face, like when he went to go get my plates, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's. what's he laughing about? He's like, you've got a good plate here, and I look, and the plate is 8. Oh, I'm not going to say it, but it's.
Come on, say it. It's 8.
It's 8 with many zeros and an 8, and it's. If you put the 2 and 2 together, you can work out what that says. If that was in in English. And not in numerical form. So when I saw it, I pissed myself laughing in the middle of Vic Roads, and he was dying, the guy behind the desk. And he's like, "Oh, it's general issue. It's the next one." So he's like, "You got bloody lucky with those plates."
Good stuff.
So it's now known as the poop car.
You'll never forget the registration on the wheel. I've got two cars and classic plates. I can't remember the numbers.
Well, there you go. So it's it's one of those plates that you're just not going to forget, I guess.
Exactly. I won't forget it. It's stuck in my head. All I think about is boobs now.
So when I drove because I had a trade plate, I had to take the trade plate because as you know, it was my mechanic's car. I took the trade plate back to my mechanic, and my mum came out and had a look, and she just pissed herself. She's like, "Are you serious?" Took it home. My missus, she pissed herself. Everyone that has seen the car is like laughing, so I'm like kind of paranoid that everyone around me is like looking at my plate and like just laughing. But that's the funny bit about it.
Look, it looks like a pimp mobile anyway, goes hand in hand.
It does. All I need is like some dark tint now and
the fluffy
dice. I might buy some fluffy dice this week actually.
Foxtail.
So
it's gonna look good.
It's gonna look good when it's done.
Have you got the sheepskin covers in the Merc?
No, because it's got the full leather. I wouldn't mind getting them though, because just have a full grandpa spec or like and just even pimp spec and just have it like that.
What about Venetians?
Oh, I wouldn't mind the Venetians in the back. But then that'd it's period 80s. 80s had they all had the Venetians in the back then. But then it might be a bit VL Calais spec and
a bit less Euro.
A bit less Euro. But you know what? It's a car that I'm just gonna have a laugh with. I reckon I'm just gonna enjoy it. It's costing me piss all on Rego. But I found out though, believe it or not, I don't know. You guys have probably noticed. If you don't fill in the book and you get pulled over, it is a $750 fine.
That's right. It's like driving an unregistered vehicle.
It's exactly what the guy told me. He's like, it's an unregistered vehicle and it's 3 demerit points.
Yep.
And I said, bloody hell! When I found out, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to forget it now. But do you reckon people get away with it, like just by not writing it in?
I've never gotten. Well, I've been pulled over a few times, and they check the book. That's the first thing they do. Oh, yeah, straight away.
Did they like run to the car to make sure you're not writing it in?
No, I don't know, but I just look. I don't. It's not worth it. You know, you just fill it out. You can get a 45-day permit.
That's the one I got for it because I'm not going to drive it often.
If you drive it on a weekend, you've got 2 other cars. I mean, how many cars can you drive at once?
Exactly right.
Hey.
Yeah. So, like as I said, I'm not going to drive it often. That's the only reason why I went for the 45-day one because there is the 90-day as well, which is double in price. But $70, man, like and I
can't go wrong.
Got an awesome plate. I'm not going to complain.
Well, yeah, well, you'll have to have it forever now. You can't let it go. That's it.
I'm definitely not going to get rid of the. Well, it's kind of just. I was like not feeling the love until that moment. I was just like, you know what, this car's connected with me. I kind of love it now.
Yeah.
But I did get I've already started modding it. I ended up getting the Series 2 like smoked out taillights because the Series 1s had like the old amber orange.
Yep.
And it made such a difference. Like it looks heaps better.
It looks newer, doesn't it, already, with the clear lenses and stuff like that.
I was gonna get I tried to get the front ones through work. I could only get the right one because the left one's obsolete. So of the clear ones because it's got the amber ones on there at the moment. So I'm gonna try go to either another aftermarket supplier and get them because just doing that, it's taken some time. It takes time off the car, you know what I mean?
It does. And you can modernise the cars quite a bit like that with just the headlights and tail lights.
And a set of wheels.
Yeah.
And it's got a decent set of wheels on there. It's got it's off a C230, I think, off a early 2000 D1.
You just need to get the biggest wheels. You like dub it, the biggest wheels on it, and you dump it. Or
well, that's what I want to do. I'm just going to slam it. I'm convinced that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it on its ass. And just low and slow, and it's it's the best way to go. To be honest, it'll be a mad laugh. And you know what though, like overall, my like first, because I've driven it like the last few days like non-stop. It's great to drive actually.
We were talking about it beforehand, didn't we? About you just feel secure in the car, it just holds the road well.
Yeah, it's it's got a steering box. It doesn't have a rack and pinion on the front end. But you know what? When you load it up, it tucks in. It's got IRS. It tucks in real nice. Takes the bumps real well. Goes around corners. I'm surprised. This is a car from '89.
They always made a car like that sort of felt, and a turning circle on it too.
Grouse, yeah.
Real good.
I couldn't. I was in a parking spot today. And I got out of I was at Epping car park and Epping shopping centre. Went to get out. Nothing, and it was easy to park as well.
Yep, because actually it changes camber as it turns.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so it just makes it so easy. Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, no, it's been really really good to drive.
What about the you got heating, cooling, all works?
Heating works. Aircon needs a regas.
Okay.
So lucky you're coming into the end of summer.
Yep.
That's first on my list to do because it's that and it's getting serviced and getting new oil filter, and it's going to put some fresh coolant in there because the car's sat for like 6 or 7 years. So I said I may as well just change those three things and get the aircon working. And she'll be a nice cruiser. But everything else works, man. The sunroof works, the electrics work. It's got a few little quirks, like when you shut the door, if you slam it hard enough, one of the side trim on the driver's side, the trim.
Is that what you pop back when you roll up?
So every few times I drive it, I say, "Hey, I'll just hit it back in," which is the clips.
Bit of double-sided tape or something.
That's what I'm going to do. But I'm thinking of either. Yeah, because I was speaking about this before, painting it, like fixing the paint. But you know what? I want to go for a different colour.
A different colour? Oh, I like the colour.
I like the colour too, but I reckon I've been looking at colours, and I've kind of I'll show you. I've got it on my phone now. It's like this guy made his look pimping, and he had a wagon version, and I reckon that blue looks tough.
It does.
It's different.
Yeah, and it's different.
Yeah, I like the grey.
You like the grey?
Yeah, I like the grey too.
Okay, well,
it's more like
that.
James Bond Euro bad guy kind of.
Bad spec grey?
Yeah, like Taken or something like bad guys
The
rock up.
The driver or what's it called? Transporter. Like the Mercedes he drives in the first one.
Yeah.
So look, I'm still undecided yet, but definitely because it does need a paint. The paint's pretty.
Maybe you need to make it look more patinaed because it looks pretty good how it's faded like that. You might need to sort of fast up the process or fasten it up.
Pour paint stripper
on it. Well, you've seen TV shows where they put Coke on it and pee on it and do all sorts of things to make it look rusty.
Rusty, yeah. And just clear it over the top.
Clear it,
and it'll keep that patina.
Yeah.
And, that'd be a cool option. So
work with it.
Definitely, yeah. Just go nuts, which would be good because I'm still because like the interior's immaculate on it, and it's like the outside's either letting it down. But should I like that? See, here's my thing. Should I just let it rot the exterior and keep the interior like Mickey Mouse, or kind of make it real nice? Because I've got the newer touches on it with the lights and.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough
call
because cars are only original once, as they say, and but I mean, like they've made a bazillion of these things, but
Yeah, it's never going to be worth $1 million,
It's not.
is it?
It's not.
And it's not like a gull wing or something.
Well, yeah. That's, well, mate, first step 260, next step going. That's that's the way it's going to.
Not a huge step, is it? To
Nah, no,
Mercedes?
it's just it's just a couple of $1 million.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'll just get out my checkbook. That's nothing to worry about.
No, exactly.
But no, look, overall though, it's it puts a smile on my face, and you know what? It's so nice because all my other cars have been manual. It's so nice just to put a car, stick it in D, and just waft home. It's
good,
honestly,
isn't it?
it's the nicest. You just you zone out. You don't even think.
Is that why there's so many zombies on the road?
Oh,
They're all
mate.
driving manuals. Autos, I mean.
Autos, yeah.
Autos.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen to me because you know, I'm always like rushing through the gears and
You're driving a car.
driving a car, and yeah, and now I just put it in D and just like it's like
D for duh.
just cruise control on the way home. Well, the car does make that noise when he says it's like.
Or home a car.
Oh, yeah, another thing that doesn't work. Actually, I don't know if it works or not. I can't figure out how to make it work. It's the cruise control. It's just got a stalk. It doesn't. There's no on button. There's no off button. It's just a stalk. It's like press up. I tried to press up. It didn't do anything.
Oh, push it in.
I've tried pushing it in.
Or forward.
I don't know. So I
I
might.
had one. It was similar.
The old SEL didn't work either. The cruise control.
Well, there you go.
It
Could be a
must
problem.
be a thing with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was trying on the freeway today. I'm like, what the hell? I was going to read the book because it's got the original books with it and everything.
Original.
It's got everything, yeah. And I freaked out. I'm like, oh, I was doing a bit of car archaeology and we went through the books. I'm like, the car was originally bought in Melbourne, then it lived in like Sydney for like
It's funny that there's a lot of Melbourne cars that lived in Sydney and they've come back.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we've had a couple of European cars.
The SEL was like that.
Yeah, the SEL, the
Porsche.
The Porsche is like that.
there you go.
The BMW too.
Yeah, my BMW. Yeah.
You still got the Porsche, or did you get rid of it?
No, well, that's another long story. I've got a shift kit put in it. It's running a lot better, but then the fuel gauge shit itself. It doesn't work. So another problem. It just goes on.
Well, that's what you paid that warranty for, man.
Oh, that warranty's worked real well. Apparently, the warranty won't pay for the fuel gauge.
What?
No, because it's electronic.
Send the unit or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so that's. Oh yeah, did I mention the fuel gauge in the Merc doesn't work?
doesn't.
No, it doesn't work. That's the only other thing that doesn't work. So it's cruise
And fuel gauge.
fuel gauge, and what was the other thing?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning, but that's getting
Yeah.
regas. So that's not
Just
an
hope
issue.
it's a regas.
Yeah.
Well,
because
yeah, no, the compressor's still good.
a lot of times the thermostats go in them and the
Yeah, the valves,
actuators.
Okay.
The valves. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed.
TX valves.
Because the car's been sitting for a long time, so hopefully. But the mechanic said it worked fine when he stopped it. But
Yeah.
I'll see how he goes. I'll take his word for it. And if it's not, I'll be like, well, you said it worked. Fix it.
It-
But yeah, look, we got to quickly get to another break, and we'll come back. We'll have the quiz, and then we'll end up for tonight. So we'll be right back after this. We're back on Car Talk with Matty J. It is quiz time. So the dynamic duo of Harley and Rob are back in the seat to try and get. What did you guys get last time? You guys got like seven, I think.
Yeah,
it was,
I think it was 7. Yeah.
So yeah, I've got to check. I've got to recheck the scores because I've got to update that. But yeah, we'll jump right into it then. So we are running out of time today, so we'll get into the quiz. This is the famous, well, not really famous, but Car Talk car quiz. All right. So, question 1: the Honda Civic had an early CVCC model. What did the CVCC stand for?
Something valve timing.
No. Do you want to pass, or do you want to
Pass.
Pass, or we'll come back to that. Question 2: the VW Golf R currently has how many cylinders? 4. That's correct. It's got 4. Question 3: what did VW mean when they had a V5 badge on the back of on the back of their VW Bora?
It was a V5.
Yeah, 5 cylinder. Yeah.
5 cylinder.
No, because people are like freaking like, what's a V5? Question 4: the Type R appeared on which? The Type R badge, I should say, featured on what Honda first?
Was it the Civic?
It would be Integra.
Or what's it going to be? Integra Civic?
Integra.
No, you're both wrong. It's the NSX.
NSX?
NSX and was it called the
Was
NSX
it?
Type R? Yeah, it was the first one to have the Type R badge. Then it went to the Integra, then it went to the Civic. So,
Oh, well.
yep. So, question 6: what is the main, this is a dumb one? What is the main difference between a 260E and a 300E?
Probably the engine size.
Yeah,
That's about it.
40cc. Question 7: The current Fiesta ST, not the new one that's about to be released, has what size engine?
Was it 2 liter?
Sorry, no, it wasn't a 2 liter. I'll give you another go.
I don't.
Don't know. Well, it's a 1.6.
Is it 1.6? I thought it was bigger for some reason. 1.8, 2.
Where are we? Question 8. The Toyota Supra first appeared in what decade?
80s.
70s.
70s?
70s, yeah.
No
As
way.
the Celica Supra, yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, there you go.
Not good to know.
And you know your Toyotas as well.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it sort of all fades into one after, 30 years.
Question 9. What is a Tesla supercharger?
Some sort of electric motor, isn't it? It pumps up the electric supercharger.
It's a charging station for your car.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you half a point because you kind of mentioned
Electric. You mentioned electric. Something's electric.
Question 10. Mustangs of the late 70s to early 90s were classified under what platform?
Fox body.
Fox body, that's
body.
correct, yeah. Now, then a question we skipped on. The Honda Civic had an early CVCC model. What did the CVCC stand for? It was pretty famous when they came out. It was all due to the fuel crisis they had in the late 70s.
Something about a valve, but I can't remember exactly. It changed. It was like a variable valve of some sort, but I'm not sure exactly how it worked.
Not too sure?
No.
It's called compound vortex controlled combustion. Yeah, so...
and I actually just saw that on the TV show the other day, so I should have
Was it
remembered
Wheeler
that.
Dealers?
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. Did you hear about Ed left the show?
Yep,
Yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. So you got, but look, we counted up today. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5.
5?
Yeah.
All right.
5's not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, Wheeler Dealers, man. I was surprised to see that because like Ed makes the show really.
He did.
He did, and I guess when he was saying, I was watching an interview with him. He was like, Velocity took over. They want to make the show a bit different. They want to make it more like I guess more
All the other American shows.
Yeah.
And that's what...
That's what I said. I hated it. The Wheeler Dealers now.
Yeah, it's crap now. Yeah.
Since I went to America, they sold out basically.
Yeah. It's sad because like the previous company that ran them, Attaboy, it was pretty much just like there was like hardly any people part of the film crew and that.
Yeah.
Then they went to America. Well, they got kind of bought out really, and then it just went to what it is. Like I still watch it and that. Like they recently had an old SL they did. And I saw that one. And they put like the Euro
style back onto
they're
it.
selling cars to Americans basically. They're not taking them like they used to go buy them, take them back to Britain.
Yeah. So,
yeah, and they used to go around the world and buy different cars and some of them and trade up, to like Ferrari, I think it was.
Yeah, they had a Ferrari in the second series, too. But they started with an AU Falcon on that series. I remember that.
Yeah, that's right. In Melbourne, didn't they go to Fowles auctions?
Yeah,
the Manor.
and he got a V.
And we bought the Commodore.
He bought
auction. Yeah,
it was a VX. VU Ute, I should say, whatever it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's disappointing that Wheeler Dealers has happened that way. But I guess Ed said he's going to do his own thing, so hopefully he does some more in-depth repairs and
I think he will. He'll do well actually.
Yeah, he will.
He should do. I know Gas Monkey too.
Aaron,
he's also apparently leaving or left.
Yeah, apparently so. So
yeah, and Richard Hammond had a motorcycle crash.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I don't know how bad it was or what happened there.
Well, he got concussed really bad apparently, but it wasn't as bad as his last one. His last one was like he almost died, I think.
Yeah.
So it's all happening in the automotive world, mate. And Grant Daniel bloody crashed his rally car, the Lotus. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was it's all happening, mate. All happening. So yeah, look, that's all we got time for tonight, anyway, on the show. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you, James.
No worries.
And thanks for putting the shapes analogy. So I'm going to think of Ford as artists.
I want to get some original shapes after this.
No, I like the way you guys think. Look, we're going to go out with one more song. We're going to go with a song it's called Archetype by a guy we played earlier, Luke Million. I saw him live on Friday night. Really, really cool. Plays a different type of music. Very, very 80s, very 90s. Very reminiscent of Kavinsky as well. So
yeah, electro.
Yeah. So this is Luke Million. We'll leave you with that. But in the meantime, Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next week. This has been CarTorque with Mary J. Take it easy.